Yeah.
It's George.
It's Elaine.
Come on up.
Hey, what are you listening to?
I never heard anything like this in my life. Listen to this.
This is exciting! This is exciting! Huh? Did I miss anything already?
Kramer, get in!
Where's the crazy man?
Hey! Sit down. Come on, it's about to start.
More anything?
More everything! Welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. My name is Vinny.
My name's Matt.
My great and good friend, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing well. Are you walking on air?
Yes, I am. I am walking on air. Feels pretty good.
Good. Well, we've got a lot to talk about this week. Let's get into news.
Hey, I got news for you.
Great news. All right, I got news. You ready?
What?
The time we're recording this, June 9th, Jason Alexander is having his Broadway premiere, replacing Larry David in Fish in the Dark.
Break a leg, buddy.
Do you think we're going to get a chance to see this?
I wanted to talk to you about that. I would like to definitely go, so let's figure out a day when we can both have off, and I will make the trek up there.
I'll sit in the nosebleeds, right?
We don't have to splurge on the fancy seats this time. I just want to be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
We know the show already.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have any big surprises for us, but it's pretty cool because since Jason has started on June 9th, he has some other events in New York. He showed up on The Tonight Show with Larry, and they also, Larry and Jason, announced Best Musical at the Tonys on Sunday.
Tony.
Let's talk about this Tony presentation first. It was pretty funny because you see these two people who you normally don't see together, Larry and Jason.
Correct.
Both bald men, both tied into that character of George, and they had a pretty funny presentation where they were kind of making fun of each other.
It's not like I don't already have experience playing you. I got 7 Emmy nominations for it.
You got nominated. Nominated. Yeah, like that's a big deal. Hey, let me tell you something, okay? The true measure of a man is not to be nominated and still show up to read a list of names of those who are nominated. That's a big man. That's a big man.
You say big man, others might say loser.
Loser. If by loser you're referring to a man who's greeted 8 times a week by 1,000 people who stand as one, applauding until their hands are raw, cheering until their voices are spent, whispering he's so much better looking in person, and laughing until their faces are contorted in an anguish mask that can best be described as a sort of Bell's palsy. People who, if it were up to them, would put aside the obvious anti-Semitism. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I said it. The anti-Semitism that denies a nomination to a Larry David or a Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, then yes, I am a loser.
Yeah, loser. That's
It's kind of cool too to see Bryan Cranston in the audience at one point.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, he probably was the only person there, maybe with a tie to Seinfeld. But we'll include a link of the video in our show notes. But as I mentioned, Jason and Larry were on The Tonight Show on Monday night with Jimmy Fallon.
That's right.
Can I ask you something?
Yo.
Thoughts on Jimmy Fallon real quick?
I like Jimmy Fallon. I'm a Jimmy Fallon fan. I don't watch The Tonight Show because I don't stay up that late, but I think he's very genuine, and I think he's always giggly, which makes me think like he's really enjoying being out there interviewing his guests. Like he's really into it. So I'm pro Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I have yet to see a full episode of The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and but I watched the interview segment of this one. But
what we need to do is get Larry and Jason on a podcast so we can have a raw, unfiltered conversation.
Yeah.
Can we set that up, man?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll never happen. There was a funny moment, though, to this to this show.
Are you going to go to the show anymore now and coach or look from the sidelines like a theater mom?
I'm going to go to tomorrow
he's
night.
gypsy. He's
I'm going to
gypsy
go
real
tomorrow
quick.
night to see him. I'll finally get a chance to enjoy it.
And are you going to be lip syncing the words as he's saying, going, I could have done that better?
Oh, no, I would never do that.
No.
But
You're going to be lip syncing the words because you've said it now for how long? 8 shows a week?
I've 18 weeks. Yeah.
A little crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like that's where
He's never done that in his life. I mean, to repeat material twice.
I can't believe
8
you would
times a week,
even
18 months.
do that. Why would you even do this? I can't see you doing it.
Well, I'm saying the exact same thing now that I said the last time I was on your show.
Yeah.
So I'm repeating that.
Well, I don't remember that episode. I'm sorry. No, yeah, exactly. But yeah, and you still afterwards. Did you give him any advice or anything? Because you've been on very.
I gave him
much.
advice before he did the show, but he's
What kind
already
of advice?
signed. Well, he
You
had
didn't
no
tell me not
idea.
to do it.
You didn't ask.
You could have said, don't do it.
You had already signed your own stupid show, then you said, I'm doing it. I tried to walk him through, like there's a thing that happens in rehearsals. You rehearse for 3 to 5 weeks. I said to him, everything's going to go great week 1, everything's going to go great week 2, and week 3 it's going to fall apart. You're going to panic.
Yeah.
He goes, well, why does it fall apart? I said, nobody knows. It always does.
It just does.
It falls apart in week 3, then it comes back in week 4. I also said you're going to open, you're going to be fun, previews, you're going to have fun. Opening night, you're going to have fun. About 3 weeks after you open, I'll call you on about 4 o'clock on a Thursday. Just about 3 hours before you go to the theater, you'll want to put your own eyes out.
Yeah,
Before
you're like, why am I doing this?
But he did very well. You did very well.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yes, you did very well.
No, I feel like
Throngs waiting at the stage door for him. I'm telling you.
Seinfeld. I drive past in.
Women, beautiful women.
You drove past. Oh, that's
I'm doing that. No soup for you, buddy. Yeah.
You know what I like about this clip, Matt, is that we got to see Larry during the preview portion. So that's when they're having fun.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you.
It is just so surreal to be reflecting on the show 4 months after we saw it, and it's like, man, Jason Alexander would be so good in this play.
Yeah.
And then it's actually happening. It's just, I don't know. It feels nice. It feels like we were on the right track.
Oh, yeah.
Of sorts. And
I also found it interesting that Larry said he didn't consult with Jason before. He had already accepted the role, and then he got Jason's input on how to go about. You remember that in the segment? I thought that was kind of cool.
the big news item this week is something we wanted to talk about last week on Seincast, but we didn't get a chance to, and that was the premiere episode of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee.
Got a little reunion. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was the first guest of season 6 of Comedians in Cars, and there was a James Bond theme to set the tone of the episode, which I know was right up your alley.
Oh, man. I was so excited to see this reunion, but they did the opening gun barrel. They actually used it's pretty obscure, but they used the music. If anyone's familiar with, I think Monty Norman did the first movie, but it's this very unique piece of music at the beginning. It's almost like a weird sci-fi, like electric dial sort of noise. That might have been a rights issue, but nonetheless, it was very obscure, I thought, and very specific to use that as a Bond fan. And yeah, it featured the Aston Martin DB5, which is made its first appearance in Goldfinger in 1964.
Now, I'm a James Bond ignorant. So which James Bond was that?
That was Sean Connery, his third one. And it showed up for the first time in that movie and sort of became the James Bond car in future installments. Not all of them, and it was replaced by like BMWs and other licensed cars, but it made sort of a return in Casino Royale.
Okay, so I was going to ask you if Daniel Craig got to drive one, so he did.
Yes, he did. And what's kind of cool is in the new movie Spectre coming out, it features the new Aston Martin, which I think also made an appearance in this episode.
That's right.
They drove by at the same time.
I saw a new and an old Aston Martin.
Yeah, I wonder, there were so many coincidences, in quotation marks here. I wonder how much of this was planned and how much was a happy accident.
Were they big coincidences or little coincidences?
I'm having trouble saying that word tonight.
It's very tough.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jerry referred to JLD as the James Bond of comedy, which I thought was a very nice compliment.
Yeah, I didn't understand how he was going to tie James Bond into Julia, but he says whatever the mission, she comes in and kills it, which is perfect.
So it's been 17 years since they were a regular fixture on TV where we saw them interacting. I got to say the chemistry between them has not changed, and if anything, has gotten better.
Well, maybe most people, I'm sure, have seen this. We don't need to recap the whole episode. We can talk about our favorite moments. But
so Jerry opens the door, and Julia answers.
It did make me wonder too, like whose house this was. I doubt it was hers. Like,
you don't think?
Well, no, because that's pretty like private to be like, oh yeah, I'll feature like my actual house on this show.
One of her houses.
Yeah, well, she has houses all over LA. So something I wanted to talk about. He picks her up at the house. They get in the car, and as they're in the Aston Martin, like a neighbor says something like, "Hey, Jerry, I'll trade with you."
Yeah.
He probably is driving I'm sure like a Mercedes SUV or something really nice, but nonetheless, Jerry gets kind of ticked. He's like, I'm so sick of hearing that.
Yeah, he gets a little ornery.
Yeah, and later in the episode, they're driving by this woman who's, I guess, in their way, and he's like, hey, we're doing a Seinfeld reunion, and you're not in it.
Yeah.
And Julia brings up this point, this episode, how, what does she say?
Something akin to like him not being a nice guy.
She's like, I think you can be nice. And he's like, well, anyone can be nice.
That's true.
It just made me wonder what your thoughts are on...
There's a little bit of Tude there that I didn't see growing up.
Right.
You know? I don't know if because he's getting older or just maybe that's just part of his personality that he never let on. But yeah, it seems like he's got a little bit of...
I think he's cocky, like, to be honest about it.
Yeah, there you go. You can say it.
I think he's pretty cocky, and I think he can be a little insensitive at times with just how he talks to people. But
you gotta love him.
There was a lot of reflecting on their time together, and you could see there was, maybe I'm just imagining it, but there was sort of that love and appreciation of what they had at one point.
Oh yeah, great stories were being told. They were rehashing stuff from the Seinfeld days, and it was all stuff that we've known as loyal viewers. And it was kind of cool to see them recount these tales as if two regular friends just sitting down talking about old stories from college, you know?
Oh, yeah. There was a few of them, which I feel like we brought up one of these on the show when Julia was pregnant. I think this was during the third season. And Jerry said at one point, oh, like this season, Elaine gets fat.
And she started bawling after Jerry said that.
Right. And she said, I learned two things. He has no interpersonal relationship skills. And also, that was a good idea. And I guess kind of regrets.
She regrets that.
Yeah, not doing that idea, which would have been pretty funny, but I don't feel like we missed out on any amazing material.
No.
I think It's Always Sunny handled it pretty well.
Yes.
When Matt gets fat. Anything else though stand out for you this episode?
Well, the one thing that I thought was kind of interesting was the majority of the episode was not in a coffee shop. It was mostly them walking around or driving in the car. I feel like the episode's kind of... Somebody made a comment online how it's getting overproduced now. It's becoming more of a show versus just a sit-down interview. But I guess that's okay.
I sense that, especially compared to the Larry David first episode.
Yeah.
Which to me, I think, has not been topped. Michael Richards' one comes close.
Yep.
Just because of what they talk about and like how, I don't know, there's a lot of baggage with that episode, which I think makes it so interesting. But this episode I thought was way too short. It was
17 minutes.
Which I haven't watched all of them.
That's actually long for a comedian's episode, but there's a lot of cutaways and fluffs and establishing shots, I guess. As opposed to just content of them talking.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't feel like we were settling in with these two people. And maybe they just didn't really have a long, drawn-out conversation or several conversations. It sounded like there were just a lot of little slices, slice of life. But I never felt like I was sitting down getting comfortable with these two people.
Want more. Yeah. I left wanting more after the 17 minutes was up.
But almost like not because you were so satisfied you want more. I felt a little unsatisfied.
Oh, the juices just got going.
Yeah. All in all, though, I'm really glad they did this reunion, and here's hoping that he'll get to talk to Jason Alexander maybe after the play ends.
As Jason Alexander.
Yes, not as George this time.
And then I think the final episode of Comedians in Cars, whenever he does a send-off of the series, should have the four of them or five in a car together. Maybe they do a minivan with the five of them.
Oh, that would. Oh man.
These ideas are just out there, Matt.
If that happens, though, that's another weird coincidence with the whole Jason and Fish in the Dark. And
Wouldn't it be cool if we just got a van?
oh yeah, that's what it should be. The big van from that episode.
Fragile Frankie Merman.
Yeah, so everyone should, of course, check this out. We'll include it and all of the other shows and appearances by Jason and Larry in our show notes. Next week is Steve Harvey by the time this episode releases. And I don't think we'll be talking about future episodes unless they somehow tie back to the show.
Exactly.
But be sure to check them out on Crackle. It's a good show, despite what you were saying, maybe being a little too overproduced. Should we move on to this week's episode?
So we're talking about the 12th episode of season 4, The Airport. Written by Larry Charles and directed by Tom Sharonis. It originally aired November 25th, 1992.
Yeah, this is a
doozy.
This is a damn fine episode.
You're darn right it is.
Of course, we've got some trivia to talk about. Nothing too earth-shattering, but there were some alternate story ideas that I wanted to bring up. I don't know if you heard about these. They were via Larry Charles himself on the DVD commentary. Originally, the Elaine storyline when she's in Coach, and I guess her whole storyline is, hey, it's crowded, it's uncomfortable, kosher food, yada yada. Originally, the guy next to her with all the bags, he was going to die. And her storyline would be about, sitting next to a guy while you're on this long flight, and what do you do with the body? Apparently, though, NBC and Castle Rock thought it was too dark and disturbing, and they changed it into what the actual episode is.
So basically, this is a Weekend at Bernie's episode of Seinfeld?
Yeah. I'm thinking more of the Kipper and the Corpse from Fawlty Towers. Did you ever see that?
No.
A guest dies, and they have to somehow get the body out of the hotel. But yeah, I guess it was based off of Joan Van Horn, who I'm actually not sure who that is. Do you know?
Isn't she a Lion producer or something?
A Lion producer?
Lion. Yes, she produced Lions.
Well, apparently, this is what Larry Charles said. Joan Van Horn was on a transatlantic flight, and they were over the ocean, and they didn't know what to do. Also, and Vinny, this might ring a bell, Larry Charles on the commentary was thinking he had a storyline about the Mile High Club, but then he pulled it back because that was too dark as well. Didn't he bring that up for the bet, the lost Seinfeld episode, quote unquote? Wasn't that Kramer's
you're right.
thing?
You're correct. Because he was going to have sex with, there was a character or actress.
Patty.
Was it Patty?
Patty, that actress, Patty from The Stranded.
Oh, yes, she was supposed to play a
flight attendant.
Yes.
Kramer, I guess, was going to have sex with her in the back of the plane.
You better believe it.
What about the pilot?
I was right, though. Joan Van Horn was a line producer on Seinfeld for 72 episodes and a unit production manager on 79 episodes. Anyway, Go ahead.
Nice. Well, moving on to the script here, you're going to notice a big change. Larry Charles, what else does he bring to the table other than one camera, no audience, a bunch of scenes, dark themes?
No monks or apartment.
No, none of that. This episode apparently had 41 scenes in the script, 74 pages. That's pretty daunting. It was filmed over 3 days, though, November 9th to the 11th. So that seems like a pretty quick turnaround, 2 weeks, and then it airs. Most of the airport scenes were filmed at the CBS Studio Center, Stage 16. The airplane set is kind of interesting, similar to the subway set from season 3. That was brought in, and then I think later it was destroyed accidentally.
So they had to build a new one, right?
Built a new one. This time, though, the airplane set, there's a guy in the Valley in Los Angeles who had an airplane set, and you called him up, he'd bring it over, and you'd film on it.
Is this the guy?
The guy. One other bit of trivia that I thought was interesting, this is just sort of an aside. For the record, Larry Charles gives just incredible insight into writing on Seinfeld and just how things worked behind the scenes. Larry David keeps a notebook, right? And I think Peter Melman told us that he specifically loves his iPhone now to keep notes. In
the notes section, yes.
Right. But now Larry Charles, though, at the time, would write on scrap pieces of paper, and he would put them in envelopes marked envelopes.
I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Apparently, he said that you would always have to feed the machine when you worked on Seinfeld. You always needed stories. You always needed to, keep throwing things into the machine to keep the thing going. And he always wanted to have ideas and personal experiences handy that would lead to a story. So I guess this is his way of just keeping like an arsenal of ideas handy. Also, we've got bumpers here. Remember bumpers from season 2 and 3?
They did it during the Chinese restaurant episode.
Yep. I think during was it the parking garage?
Yeah, with the horns honking.
With the horns honking. This was like a little piece of music that would play during the act break. I don't know, 5-10 seconds long over the Seinfeld logo. And it would, paired with a Seinfeld theme, it would have some music or sound element tying into the episode. And this week it was just airplane noises, so probably planes flying overhead. I'd love to hear those. Like, if there's any way we can track these down, someone let us know.
Somebody's got to know something.
Yes. One last bit of trivia, I promise. Jerry Seinfeld thought this was the episode when he realized comedically it was okay for him to be a character with whom things worked out. And that kind of goes against, in his terms, the standard comedic law. Characters should always get screwed over or kind of be in a worse situation in the end. But
because there is comedy and tragedy. But Jerry could not be more right. Because we're all on his side. He's so likable, even though he's doing despicable things, and especially as the series goes on. But yeah, I was giggling the whole time with the good fortune that he was coming into during this episode, and at the same time the misfortune that all the other characters were encountering.
We've seen this a few times before, in season 2 and 3, but it seems like one of those even Steven moments that you always bring up, where everything just seems to work out for Jerry, and then some, really.
Oh yeah, he makes out like a bandit in this episode.
Have you noticed that everything on planes is very tiny? There's always tiny food, tiny liquor bottles, tiny pillows, tiny bathroom, tiny sink, tiny soap. Everyone's in a cramped seat working on a tiny computer. There's always a small problem, be a slight delay, will be a bit late if you could be a little patient. We're just trying to get one of those little trucks to pull us up a little closer to the jetway so you can walk down the narrow hallway. There'll be a man there in a tight suit, and he'll tell you have very little time to make your connecting flight. So move it.
This is an incredible piece of stand-up to start off the episode. And this is also from Jerry's album, I'm Telling You for the Last Time. I think I've said this before, but one of his tracks is the air travel track, 7 minutes long. This opening piece of stand-up, 32 seconds. So do yourself a favor and buy that album, and actually for the closing stand-up at this episode, he used more additional airport travel jokes. So it's gold.
Yeah, it's a great album. I'll include a link in the show notes if you haven't bought already. Come on. Yeah, it's a great piece of stand-up. Reminds me a little bit of George Carlin. He had an airport bit that was really funny. A lot of wordplay in that one too. But our first scene of the episode, we jump around a lot here, so bear with us. It's Jerry and Elaine driving to the St. Louis airport, St. Louis, Missouri. That's the alternate Seinfeld theme.
Thank you.
Would you shut up? I love the playful ribbing, in this scene.
It's all good fun.
Yeah, very light, very natural with each other. I like it. Jerry apparently had a show in St. Louis. Elaine tagged along so she could visit her sister Gail. I assume it's Gail.
It's Gail. We'll learn about it in the next episode.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, they're together in St. Louis. They're gonna fly back to New York tonight. There's some funny rental car humor here, though, right? Like,
oh yeah,
windows don't work, nothing ever works. Smells like a cheap hooker.
Or is that you?
Give me $10, you can find out.
This seems like one of those examples where Elaine is one of the boys. Peter Millman always talks about this, but could you pull this joke off with the majority of your female friends, referring to them as a hooker?
Oh no, well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What?
Well, since I got married, like I don't have as many female.
Do you have
friends.
any female? Okay,
a few, but they're typically married too.
I don't think I could pull this joke off with many of my female friends, nor would I even try it.
Yeah,
you have to be really comfortable with the person, I would imagine.
Yeah,
to refer to them as a hooker in jest.
Back in college, but you could have easily been like, just call it an asshole. That would be it.
Oh, you are a hooker.
Oh, good Lord. Rodney reference there. Well, so the beauty of this trip is that George will pick them up at JFK. He lost a bet with Jerry. What was the specifics of this bet?
Well, he was always bragging about his vertical leap. Jerry bet him $50 that he couldn't touch the awning outside of Jerry's building, the Shelley.
You know, I never realized that Jerry's building was called the Shelley.
You know I first heard it, and I thought you would have remembered that night. But Rupa, your friend that we did trivia with, is the one who told us that.
Oh, really?
We think we know a little bit about Seinfeld trivia. This girl cannot be beat.
It's insane how much she knows. Like,
she puts us to shame.
Yes. But I mean, I guess she did bring that up once. Maybe I blocked that out for some reason.
I was blown away when she said that. But George could not touch this. Oh yeah.
Well, for what we're talking about is the apartment exterior they use in L.A. has an awning and it says the Shelley, which I don't think is canonical, but
Jerry's building though.
That is the awning, I guess, that George was trying to hit.
I guess George didn't have his vertical leap training shoes handy.
Nicely done.
Cheap joke.
Jerry's happy because, they're timed out perfectly. They drop off the rental car, shuttle, get on the plane, cut to the rental car, and it's juxtaposed perfectly with them chasing after the shuttle driver who's just like, sorry.
And you know who that shuttle driver is? One Bill Masters. Does that name ring a bell?
Kind of. He worked on the show or a comedian?
He was a writer on Seinfeld during season 4. He actually wrote 3 episodes: The Chaperone, the movie, and the alternate side.
Alternate side, yes, we have brought him up before.
That's right. Oh, I did those backwards. So alternate side was in 91, the movie was in 1993, and the Chaperone was in 94.
Betrayal there. Yeah.
Thank you. So he plays the driver in the airport, but he's also credited as man in restaurant in the pilot episode of season 4. So I was trying to find him. I think it might be at the end when all the detectives are in the restaurant looking at the buxom waitresses and Peter Melman is standing there.
He must be with Peter Melman.
I think he's in that area. So he may be kind of dipping twice. We don't know. Anyway, Bill Masters, he's more known as a producer and a writer, actually. In addition to writing on Seinfeld, he wrote and produced on Grace Under Fire, Caroline in the City, Murphy Brown, It's Like You Know with Peter Melman, Greetings from Home, and Raising Dad.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, I don't know much about Bill Masters, but the name, it's sort of stuck there. I look forward to...
Sounds like a good name.
Yeah, I want to talk about him a little bit more when we get to, I guess, the movie in a couple of weeks here. So the airport, the St. Louis airport, Jerry and Elaine finally reach the Sky Cap. They're out of breath, running late. And, well, they have a discussion how much to tip the guy. And for the record, this is one of my favorite Seinfeld scenes of all time.
I need some small bills for a tip. You got anything?
Yeah, you want a 5?
Give me a 10.
Give you $10?
Well, we got 3 bags.
That's a pretty big tip.
That's what they get.
You don't get that much.
Let's ask him.
You can't ask him.
Let's see what he says.
But, Jerry, we don't have time for this.
2 seconds. Excuse me. My friend and I here were having a discussion. We were just kind of wondering what you usually get for a tip.
Depends on the person, depends on the bag.
Oh, how about a couple people like us?
People like you? I wouldn't expect much. You don't even look like you know what you're doing.
Come on, seriously.
Well, since you asked, usually I get $5 a bag.
What?
That's right.
$5 a bag? I don't think so.
Look, you asked, I told you.
You've got some nerve trying to take advantage of us.
All right, look, we're late. Thank you very much.
You're lucky I don't report you.
Come on.
JFK, Honolulu.
I don't know if it's the tipping, discussion that I love so much, and it's so Seinfeldian.
It's everything. It's the actor who plays the Sky Cap, Mark Christopher Lawrence. I don't travel that much by air, so I don't know this whole etiquette with tipping for bags. So this is kind of foreign to me. But so that is a common practice. You tip the people that handle your bags. Is that right?
Yeah, especially because they, depending on the situation, depending on the Sky Cap, they're trying to get you checked and on your way as quickly as possible. I usually avoid them because I can be a bit of a cheapskate.
Yeah. And usually when you check into the counters, when you put your bag on the little scale and then they put it down the chute.
Exactly. And I'm there usually. I'm there so early too. I'm I'm in no rush. But
Oh, look at you.
yeah, no, but with skycaps though, yeah, you typically would tip them. Okay. I don't know about $5 a bag. that might be a little high just as a flat rate. I think it depends really on like what they do for you and how quickly they move and all that.
Now I gotta say, when you play that clip and Jerry asks, what do you think about a couple people like us? The skycap looks back, and he says, usually I get $5 a bag. That makes me think he's trying to swindle Jerry and Elaine by that little look back because he's looking to see if anybody else is in earshot.
100%. There's something about him when he tries to be a little too casual with them when he's like, you two don't look like you know what you're doing.
It's a good little joke, too.
Oh, yeah, great line. But when it's something about $5 a bag. There's something about that inflection that seems like he's playing them. Yeah, absolutely.
And Elaine's wise to it, but Jerry doesn't want to deal with it. They got to go, and Elaine stands up for herself as she's known to do, and this guy's going to end up putting the kibosh on her bags getting back home.
Yeah, Honolulu.
So Skycap is played by actor Mark Christopher Lawrence. Very memorable performance, as we've already talked about.
As brief as it is, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, sorry, I want to jump in real quick. There's so many guest stars this episode, as you very well know.
Yes.
They're all so good. Like, they all have little lines, little moments, but they're all very memorable.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a wordy one. So please bear with us. Mark Christopher Lawrence was in Caddyshack 2. He was in Terminator 2. He was in Child's Play 3. He was in Seinfeld in the airport as the Skycap, and then he came back in The Race to play the boss, the mall for the Santas.
Oh, at Coleman's.
It's Coleman's. So dare I say, is he a double dipper?
I think so.
Da, 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 da.
You double dipped the chip. Double dipped? What are you talking about?
That scene he has in The Race as the boss at Coleman's for the Santas is also very memorable. Really glad they brought him back.
From that, like, $5 a bag to get your skinny ass out of here. Like, it's just, I don't know. He's a very memorable actor. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great double dipper. I wonder if that's news to any of our listeners. Hopefully we blew a few minds. And just one more thing to add. That scene was filmed outside the CBS Studio Center Administration Building, which you saw in The Trip when Kramer's arrested, all the reporters, the limo where they're gathering outside of Madison Square Garden, the Pez dispenser when Elaine comes out, and she's laughing.
It's a very familiar wall.
Yes, very familiar. So next we see them, Jerry and Elaine are running through the tunnels, and how funny is Julia with like her bag struggling?
And Jerry's very funny as well, saying, never be late for a play with a girl, because girls run like a girl, with the hands like this, and the little steps, and the arms flailing out.
If you want to make this flight, you have to run like a man. Get your knees up.
Now, I wanted to point out, great gag, by the way, and this is the first reference to a joke that will be called back later, so keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. But did you notice...
The first planting.
That's right. It's seeds, Jerry. Seeds. Did you see the gates that were on the wall in the background?
Oh, no. What about
it says
them?
gates 9 to 23 are this way, and then gates 24 to 40 are this way. Mm-hmm. And then you see them turn this corner and continue running, and that's when Jerry makes that line, got to get your knees up. They turn the corner. It's the same gates on the wall. So it looks like they didn't...
Is it really? They didn't change the number?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I just thought that was... They should have changed the number, right?
Oh, yeah. I think they would have. But
is that a goof or am I crazy?
Maybe not. Maybe, I mean, if that's the direction the gates... Oh, no.
Because it looks as if they're coming straight down the hallway, and then it looks like they just had them go back and then make that right and then run again. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a parking garage situation. They should have, changed the colors, changed the numbers.
Forget the whole thing.
Well... eventually they hit the gate, the check-in. They find out that the flight's been canceled, but...
Canceled?
They have 2 seats into LaGuardia. One is in first class, one is in coach. And I don't do the clip justice, but I just like how Jerry's like, I'll take the first class.
Yeah, and again, I think we're transitioning now from nice guy Jerry to a little more selfish Jerry. Not even... a moment passes. He doesn't think about Elaine at all. He is taking that first class seat.
Now, it's funny though. He tries to BS his way through it, saying, hey, I've flown first class before. I can't go back. You've never flown first class. You don't know what you're missing. That's kind of like BS, but I buy it at the same time. Like,
No, if you've never flown first class before, you should give somebody that treat of flying first class.
however, I think I've flown first class probably like 4 or 5 times in my life. And it is so true. When you fly it and you have to, your next flight, either on the return or whenever, it's horrible. Once you experience it and then you have to go right into coach or eventually into coach, it's rough. And that's definitely a first world problem. But I don't know. I kind of see what Jerry's saying.
Well, I also think the fact that they had this old relationship, they dated, but now they're friends. Like, he has no allegiance to Elaine or no incentive for him to be overly nice to her, So it's as if George was standing next to him, and he's gonna like get what he wants and not go out of his way for his friend.
You're right. Yeah, it's almost like Elaine is in the George role this episode, but it's like she doesn't put up as much of a fight as George would in this situation. Absolutely.
As I was watching this episode, and this was before I watched the notes, I said, instead of Jerry just kind of cutting in front of Elaine and taking the spot or the seat for the first class, I was like, wouldn't it have been funny if Jerry and Elaine chose for it? And then that actually was cut dialogue and a scene that was actually cut that Jerry and Elaine were going to choose. Remember if we remember back to the apartment when George and Jerry chose or played a game of choose, 1 strikes 3, shoot for the apartment. They were going to have Jerry and Elaine choose for the first class seat. And Jerry would have gone on to win, but Elaine was going to accuse him of pulling out a finger like late on the draw and cheating. And I think that would have been a nice little visual to see. But I think it's funnier seeing Jerry kind of be selfish in a nice manner.
Oh, yeah. And the episode's escaping me right now, but they were going to choose, Jerry and George would choose in Monks when it came to using the telephone. Remember when they like sprint from the
calling
booth?
Susan versus calling Kramer.
Yeah, to warn him about Joe Davola. They were going to choose there, which would have been perfect. I love the choose. I wish it had a presence, at least in this season.
I agree.
Before they retired it, but yeah.
So we got to talk about the ticket clerk, who goes by the name of Maggie Egan. She played an airport clerk in Moonlighting as well. She was in an episode of Knots Landing, Quantum Leap. She was on the TV show called Civil Wars, an episode of ER, 10 episodes of Babylon 5, the Mel Gibson movie What Women Want. She was in a Malcolm in the Middle, an Ally McBeal, CSI, The Mentalist, and Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, cool.
Oh, and I wanted to ask you as well. They do that joke where they're at the counter and Jerry says, "No time? Is there time?" And then the ticket lady says, "There's no time." Is that an Abbott and Costello kind of thing?
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know Abbott and Costello that well, but for some reason that feels Abbott and Costello-y.
Yeah, it's there, like that, the ping-pongy. But I feel like we always attribute that kind of humor to Larry David for some reason.
Every time we say ping pong.
Yeah, it's got to be Larry David. We can't forget Elaine's line where she's like, what's the difference? If the plane crashes, everyone in first class is going to die anyways.
I'm sure she'll live.
Yes. I like how.
Which is a great blooper.
Oh.
And you see her in the scene, she looks down.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but should we play it?
Let's make it a point that we're always going to play the bloopers, because I think it's very worthwhile.
Okay, I forgot all about it.
I have 1 seat in first class and 1 in coach. They're the same price because your flight was canceled.
All right.
Just back it up. No, we can do it.
Julie's still laughing.
Okay.
Don't point. Go. Julie is laughing.
Okay, can we go?
No.
Yes.
She's laughing right
yes.
now.
We can go.
Okay.
Go ahead. Waste everyone's time.
Okay, here we go. And action.
And of course, as they board the plane, you can really see the difference. The flight attendant is like, "Oh, you're over here," and then, "Oh, hello, sir."
Oh my goodness, the contrast they're gonna make, whether it's over the top or the realistic disparities between first class and coach, is so well done by Larry Charles and the rest of the writers.
So coach is crowded. Elaine has to sit between 2 people. particularly next to a guy with a bunch of unchecked luggage.
He has 5 pieces of luggage that he puts overhead, and then he puts one piece of luggage in front of Elaine, and then he has one at his feet as well as on his lap. Couldn't get away with that nowadays.
And I like the parallels here, not only visually or the juxtaposition. It ends with "help me." Then we cut over to Jerry. He's very comfortable, plenty of legroom next to a beautiful woman, and his line is "thank you." Mm-hmm. So I like that parallel.
Oh yeah. The first flight attendant we'll meet is played by actor Jim Bullock. I'll start off with the most interesting thing about him. He was a acting protege of Ted Knight from Caddyshack, and he also worked on the show Ted Knight Show, Too Close for Comfort from 1980. He was in Spaceballs. He played Prince Valium.
Oh wow, yeah, okay.
He was in Alf. He played Neil. He played Alf. No, he didn't play Alf. He was in Alf as Neil Tanner. He was on an episode of Roseanne, kissing Jessica Stein. He was on 12 episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful, an episode of Glee. Oh, and one other thing I want to point out. You mentioned the disparities between first class. I keep wanting to say first and second class, but first class and coach. You notice when Elaine kind of goes up to the curtain and they close the curtain very abruptly in Elaine's face.
Bon voyage, Laney.
That particular moment is pretty much lifted from Jerry's stand-up, where Jerry talks about flight attendants when they always give you that little look before they shut the curtain to the people in Coach. Maybe if you worked a little harder, I wouldn't have to do this.
Well, for the record, I never, ever have paid for first class, or business class, as they call it, I guess, nowadays. It all came via my employer or a friend who had the miles, and they bumped us up. So, yeah, I wonder what it's like to pay for first class.
Did you fly for your honeymoon? Did you fly first class or coach?
Oh, no, that was most definitely coach.
Oh.
But all the times I've flown first class, I've been on long trips, like cross-country or... from New York down to Florida. So they've been, lengthy trips. You don't want it to be like an hour-long flight.
I only flew first class. I only flew Fleurs. I only flew first class when I was going from high school to college, when my girlfriend at the time, her dad worked for United.
Oh.
So that was the only time I've flown first class.
Any other perks of dating someone whose dad works for United? Like, did you get a lot of peanuts or...
We got those socks that you get to wear and walk around in. I kept those.
Nice. Pair of those crappy headphones.
Another actor to talk about, passenger number 1, is played by Lenny Rose. And I'm looking at his sheet on IMDb. He's got all these like 80s B-movie kind of titles. But listen to some of these. Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2.
Yeah.
Puppet Master 3, Too Long's Revenge, Caged Hearts, Beach Babes 2, Cave Girl Island. Oh, he actually starred alongside Ian Abercrombie, or Mr. Pitt, in Test Tube Teens from the year 2000. He was in an episode of Coach, ER, but man, quite a
rap sheet.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know what kind of actor he was, like if he was a TV guy, but I love some 80s slasher films and horror films, so that's kind of cool. I should check out some of his work.
Most definitely should. And then we have the introduction of Tia Van Camp, who's played by Jennifer Campbell. She plays Tia in The Airport, The Pick, and The Pilot. She was also in a Silk Stockings episode, the TV show Robin's Hoods, an episode of Frasier. She was in 3 episodes of Boy Meets World, and 6 episodes of Baywatch, which was actually her last acting gig.
Wow. Huh.
Other actresses who auditioned for the role of Tia Van Camp: supermodel Vendela, Gina Gershon, Angela Featherstone, and Jennifer Coolidge, who would come back to play Jody the masseuse in the masseuse episode.
Of course. Well, Gina Gershon, why do I know that? Or Gina Gershon?
So you know why you know Gina Gershon? She played either Anna or Anna in Curb Your Enthusiasm, the dry cleaning woman who hooked up with Larry.
The Hasidic Jew?
Yes. In the Survivor and the Anonymous Donor episode.
Oh, wow. She's got a mouth on her. It's a great episode.
Come here to talk about Jack, and you want to fuck Larry.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Well, yeah, she kind of has a model look to her, I guess, too. But sorry, the actress is named Jennifer Campbell?
Campbell.
She's great. I like her. Moving on to a New York highway, Kramer and George driving to the airport. George is trying to clarify, just for the record, he confused the awning with another awning. That's why he missed. But hey, they're doing perfect time. They should roll up 17 minutes after Jerry's flight lands, and gives them enough time to pick up the bags just as they roll up. And George,
great little run by George there, or Jason.
Yeah, and he ends it with, I cannot express to you the feeling I get from a perfect airport pickup.
Which is so true.
Yes.
When you don't have to do extra loops on the airport or wait in the cell phone waiting area, it really is gratifying when it's a smooth pickup.
So Kramer, I guess, makes the mistake of getting on the Long Island Expressway.
Do you know what the traffic will be like? Oh, this is a suicide mission.
He had it timed out perfectly. The Grand Central, the Van Wyck. Apparently, if George isn't there, he loses credit for the pickup, and he has to pay the $50.
Kramer reassures him there's not going to be any traffic at this time. If anything, we'll get there early. It'll give them time to stop at the duty-free shop.
Yes.
And I wanted to point out, if we notice in this scene, it's one of the few times you have a Kramer-George scene with just the two of them where they're both kind of in a good mood and kind of getting along.
Yeah.
Which is really nice to see. Usually, Kramer's being a doofus and George is upset with him. I'm thinking of, or George is just horribly depressed and Kramer's about to hightail it to California. I can barely see it, George. And then I'm also thinking of when Kramer plays George's girlfriend by proxy and breaks up with him at Pomodoro.
Yeah, out of all the character pairings, George and Kramer seems like they need to develop a relationship, or they have yet to.
Yeah.
And here, though, it feels nice. It feels like we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, it's nice to see them both in friendly, good moods.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
But
later on in the episode, they get stuck in traffic, and George is not happy. But so we cut over to the flight, and Tia is telling Jerry about being a model, and he's reading the latest Esquire, and she tells him to turn to page 146.
Wow, coming out of the shower. It's a good thing you had that washcloth to cover yourself up. What's this an ad for?
Wrinkled pair of jeans, I guess, in the background.
Way in the background, out of focus. It's a nice little jab at the by the writers at modeling and advertising.
Yeah, what's the opening joke here? It's like...
So he says, squeeze your breasts together, and I say, I thought this was an ad for shoes.
Right.
Oh, my.
It's really setting the mood here for Jerry's flight. And, we cut over to Elaine and the return of the voiceover, which I think we're big fans of.
We always love that.
Mm-hmm. She has to go to the bathroom, though, and her neighbor, the guy next to her, is fast asleep, and she's worried about her kidneys bursting, and I love this lady next to her. She's like, yeah, chew more gum. That's real helpful.
Who is that lady, by the way?
Passenger number 2.
Passenger number 2. You may also know her as Doris Klompus, wife of Jack Klompus, actress Annie Corzin. We previously saw her in The Pen, season 3. And she's also going to come back in The Raincoats and The Cadillac to reprise the role of Doris Klompus.
So Annie is completing the double dip.
That's right.
She will no longer double dip, but we will see her again. Does that make any sense? I'm sure some people can argue, hey, that is Doris, but Elaine did meet Doris in The Pen.
That's true.
But anyways, we're at JFK, and it's a visual joke, but I have to play the clip here of Kramer and George in the tunnel.
You're not here. You cost me $50. Look at you. You run like a girl. Come on, run like a man. Lift your knees.
And there's the callback. Kramer making the same joke as Jerry. Fabulous.
God, how George, I showed the clip to my wife, and she's like, yeah, he's trotting. I'm like, who trots?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
So weird.
Also notice they redressed the same hallway that we previously saw to be LaGuardia. Now it's redressed with the blue lines to be JFK.
Yeah, good call. So they're looking at the arrivals, and they see that the flight was canceled. Only thing George worries about is getting credit for the pickup. He was there. We didn't make the connection yet to the boyfriend episode, the whole driving someone to the airport. This is almost like the reverse. Right. It's a big deal to drop off or pick up.
Well, they're best friends, so it makes sense. This is an appropriate level of friendship here.
Mm-hmm. Well, before they can talk to a ticket clerk, a couple checks out the departures and heads to their gate. Kramer's caught off guard, though. He thinks he knows the guy.
And the guy they share a look, as if they may have known each other at one point.
Yes, the guy does look a little uncomfortable because Kramer's just staring at him. But
yeah, you see that guy?
Yeah. So Kramer is going to go talk to the ticket clerk while George goes to the gift shop. He wants to get a copy of Time magazine. There's supposed to be a blurb about Jerry, and he thinks he mentioned George's name.
Ooh.
So while George is in the gift shop, two, I guess, federal marshals are escorting a prisoner through.
I get my Time magazine. I never miss my Time.
Okay, get your magazine. Let's get out of here.
Hey, I'm just gonna take that.
Gee, I'm sorry. I got here first.
I don't care when you got here. I want the magazine.
Okay, let's go.
No, see, you don't understand. There's a blurb about me in this magazine.
A blurb? You're a blurb. Check out the cover, idiot.
Okay, let's go.
No, just give me a second. I want the magazine.
No.
If I wasn't in these shackles.
But you are, Blanche. You are in the shackles.
Little son
Oh, I can't wait to read my Time magazine. Last copy, too. Maybe I'll read it tomorrow in the park. Supposed to be a beautiful day. Have a nice life. Sitting settings.
Love the scene. There's so many great little moments in this episode. This is another one of them, like the sky cap scene that just really sticks with me.
This particular prisoner, who is incredibly intimidating, played by actor Scott Burkholder. He was in a Twilight Zone, Rod Serling's Lost Classics. Do you know that one?
I think there was one or two episodes that were made during the 80s that never aired.
Okay.
So they're considered lost classics. Is he in the theater one? Or?
It's called The Theater.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Scott Burkholder was also in Con Air. He was in an episode of The X-Files. He was in Gone in 60 Seconds, Swordfish, episode of ER, episode of 6 Feet Under. And the cop, or one of the federal marshals, the one who has the line, is played by Jack Grayman. He only has 2 acting credits, actually. And so this episode, and then an episode from a TV show called Angie from 1979.
Oh, that's fascinating.
I thought so.
The other guy, the guy on The Prisoner's Left, I don't know if that was the guy you're talking
can't see
about.
His face? No, I'm talking about the curly-haired guy with the mustache.
Yeah, curly-haired guy.
His left, yes.
Yeah. The guy with the curly hair. He looks really familiar, and I can't put my finger on it. Anyways.
He looks like the Amco guy from Curb a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah, I could see that.
Don't you think this prisoner, wouldn't it have been cool if they brought back Clint Howard as Tobias Lehigh Nagy to be in shackles? Because he was captured last season.
That's a great pull, yeah.
But there wouldn't have been, there could have been friction between him and George, because the last time they had an encounter, they were in the police car and talking about, how much you tip a chambermaid. But I thought it'd been really a nice callback to season 3 to bring back Tobias Lehigh Nagy.
I have to say, that is an excellent idea, Feldman.
Thank you. It's not practical.
Right. It definitely keeps with the Larry Charles, like a prisoner or some kind of cop or violence. Yes. He always has that, it seems like, in his episodes.
I didn't know this. I always knew George was referencing something with but yeah, Blanche, yeah. I didn't know that's from the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. It's I think early 60s, Betty Davis, Joan Crawford, they were rival stars, when they were a lot
child
younger.
Stars.
Yeah, child, but young actresses, and they, really didn't like each other. And they made this movie together where I think they play sisters. And Joan Crawford's stuck in a wheelchair, and Betty Davis is, taking care of her. And it's not a horror movie, but it is very disturbing at times, especially the makeup and great performances. But, it's funny. For some reason, I always thought George was doing some kind of Streetcar Named Desire reference.
Oh.
Because the main character in that is Blanche, or one of the characters is Blanche.
Mm-hmm.
And
wouldn't have been the first time they made a streetcar reference, right?
Yeah, you're right. There's the Elaine Stella line in the pen. But
and by the way, who just walks a murderer through the airport? like willy-nilly. Oh, you want a magazine? Let's get your Time magazine.
Not like, let's get you on the plane, the commercial flight for that matter, and then
Yeah.
I'll bring you a Time if I'm in a good mood.
Okay, just whatever.
Yeah. A little bizarre, but I think it works just for the comedy's sake.
I buy it.
Well, Kramer shows up and tells George that Jerry and Elaine's flight is going to land in 30 minutes, but at LaGuardia. So they race out, but Kramer locks eyes briefly with the guy from before. And as we're on the flight, more voiceover from Elaine. She can't hold it anymore, and wakes up the guy next to her, and really has some great physical comedy, getting over the luggage and whatnot.
She has to step over this guy. She falls across the aisle into the aisle mate of Lenny Rose, and that's when she falls to her knees. The guy he at her, and she gives a couple back at him. She's very frustrated, and then she walks toward the bathroom.
It's very similar, kind of to the subway. She's stuck on a crowded subway. Voiceover, really unhappy.
She doesn't like being in crowded places.
No. Meanwhile, Jerry and Tia.
Hey, she also gets stuck in the Puerto Rican day under the bleachers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There are people down here. Meanwhile, Jerry and Tia, they're wiping their faces, hot towels, enjoying wine, getting slippers.
Oh, that's such a cheese ball moment.
Which one's that?
May I?
Why, it's a perfect fit. You must be Cinderella.
So, flight attendant number 2 is played by Karen Denise Williams, her only acting credit.
Wow.
She's really good as a flight attendant. I like her.
She is one of the other characters where she just has a delivery that I love so much coming up. It's just one little line. That's it.
I know what you're going to say.
Nails it. We're in the car with George and Kramer. George finds out, my name isn't mentioned in this blurb.
It's Grossbard.
Yes. John Grossbard. Who is he?
Kramer. He lived on 3rd Avenue and 18th Street 20 years ago. Kramer had this roommate who was always behind on his rent. And then one month he asked Kramer, can I borrow your share of the rent? $240. Well, he took the cash and disappeared. Kramer kept trying to find him, which was girlfriend's house, his family's house. Could never get the money back. So this guy got away with Kramer's money. This was John Grossbard. So finally he's come into contact with him now.
Or he thinks he has, right? He's not sure yet. But
this would have been in the 70s that they were roommates.
Yes, 72. Wow, that's incredible. Well, George tells him, hey, get over it 20 years ago, but...
He wants to turn around.
Yes.
And George opposes, and he says, we must, it's a socially binding contract. We must pick up the people at the airport. Got to press on.
Yeah, must go forward, not back. I
So-
was waiting for a moment, like just at the end of the scene where Kramer looks at him and he does a Yui, just right there.
And George could have slammed his face into the glass, a la Peterman. But George is trying to get out of losing $50, and Kramer stands to get back $240.
What do you think, though? Do you think Kramer has a right to turn around?
To quote George, he's like, Kramer, that's $240 20 years ago. I think there's a statute of limitations on that.
And it honestly, it doesn't seem like the money. It's the principle. Like, this guy screwed me over.
Exactly.
I'm going to confront him. And
Kramer holds grudges. You don't want him on your bad side.
Yes. So back on the flight, Elaine's waiting for the bathroom when this weirdo comes out, and it's a great moment as Elaine opens the door, gets a whiff, and just turns away, shuts the door, and then takes that deep breath and goes in. Kind of similar to that episode. I can't remember. Is it the Doodle or no?
Where Jerry's got fleas?
Yeah, fumigated, and he has to go in, or she has to go in and get the manuscript.
That's exactly right. I like that.
Similar.
I'm the exterminator. Anyway, that bearded, smelly guy is writer of this episode, Larry Charles. And I gotta say, he was a pretty good sport to be a part of this gag. He's forever known as the Stinky Man in this episode. He's uncredited, but he's uncredited as Stinky Man. And from what I hear, whenever Seinfeld people, fans notice him on the street, hey, you're that smelly guy who walked out of the bathroom in the airport.
To be fair, before I knew who Larry Charles was or what he looked like, this guy always stood out.
He's got a really unique look.
Oh, yeah. And it makes sense that a guy like looking like this would produce a really bad odor.
Yeah.
So as Elaine's, dealing with the gas, Jerry, of course, is like telling Tia, oh, man, did you see all the flowers in our bathroom? It's like an English garden in there.
They're gardenias mostly.
I thought I smelled lilac.
Yes, there are a few of those too.
That's the line that I love so much. Yes, there are a few of those too. I love that flight attendant. So the captain announces due to some equipment failure at LaGuardia, they're rerouting and landing at JFK. This, of course, gets announced just as Elaine exits the bathroom.
What did he say? What did he say?
What did she say? The
Larry
Chinese
David.
restaurant? Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
That kind of ties into this episode.
I'm with you. It's all coming together.
Back to LaGuardia here. We're outside. Briefly, George gets into the car after he hears the news and tells Kramer, all right, it's rerouted back to JFK. We've got 45 minutes.
Listen to the bell, Grossbard. It tolls for thee.
Love how they go flying back. So a few weeks back, it was the Bubble Boy. We saw the hood of Kramer's car, and we thought it was the Pepsi logo. At least it looked like it.
Or Grateful Dead.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I brought that up again, but a listener pointed out it's the Grateful Dead logo. And,
he nailed it.
The listener, your name is escaping me. I'm so sorry. But I agree 100%. If you look at Kramer's hood in this scene, you can see more of that kind of like lightning bolt detail to the white portion. So, yes, not the Pepsi logo.
See,
100% the Grateful Dead logo. But we take an act break, come back. Flight attendant is listing some food they're serving, a Chateaubriand, which, did you read about this? It's a French way of preparing tenderloin roast.
I did not know that.
Sounds pretty good. Poached oversole in a delicate white wine sauce with a hint of saffron.
Ooh, saffron. That sounds good.
And they're serving wines from the Tuscany region.
Tuscany.
Elaine makes it back to her seat, but gets in a tiff, I guess, with that other flight attendant since his dinner cart is blocking the way.
Look, this flight's full. I got a lot of people to serve. Now, please, you're just gonna have to wait.
God, he's got so much sass to him. It's I love it, but I hate it at the same time. Now we're at JFK. Kramer and George, I guess, have plenty of time until Jerry's flight arrives. So in the 10 minutes until Grossbard's plane leaves, Kramer, has decided, I'm going to go catch him. And he wants George's credit card, I guess, to buy a ticket, board, get his money from Grossbard, get off the plane, and then get a refund on the ticket. Now,
there's a lot of things wrong with that logic.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, does this make any sense?
Well, the first thing I'm thinking of is, let's say you even get on the plane in time to get at Grossbard. Is he going to have $240 on him? That's the first thing.
Fair point.
If he gets that money, is he going to have enough time to get off the plane before it takes off? And do we know where that plane's going, by the way?
We don't. Unless Grossbard said it earlier when he was looking at departures. I don't think he mentioned. I think he just said the time.
Like the gate and the gate number.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't even know where you're going. Also, if you board a flight, can you even return a ticket? There has to be a penalty for that sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way. But even crazier is George likes the plan for some reason, and he's like, here, take my frequent flyer credit card, and tells him to buy 2. That way, he'll double the bonus miles. I love Jason's performance here. It's, it's not like super memorable, but I just like how happy he is. The George character at ooh, I'm gonna make double the air miles, and I don't know what his plan is here.
And I gotta say, this is the first of 2 incidents where Kramer is involved in a plane scam with George. Oh, yeah. Thinking of George also trying to get the family fare when he is trying to elevate his relationship status. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that the bereavement fare?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Same thing. It ends up costing him a full price ticket as well as a relationship when that one goes awry.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Kramer, again, airlines. Good call.
George was actually supposed to run into his cousin Shelley from the previous episode. But I don't know what the reason was, but she was written out.
That's wild.
It would have been nice to have George's family member return.
That was last week, wasn't it, that we met Shelley?
Uh-huh.
I wonder if they were doing that just to get that actress more work, because that's, well, I guess it helps to connect the episodes.
What would have been the purpose for running into her?
Yeah.
Would it have furthered the story? We don't know.
That might have tied into one of Larry Charles's original story ideas that got dropped. We may never know.
Okay.
Yeah. So we cut to Jerry and Elaine's flight here, and I want to jump right into this clip. This is the whole kosher meal debacle, which is another highlight from the episode.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to make you do this, but I got stuck in the aisle and the flight attendant wouldn't let me get through. There's no way to get around that cart.
You're not supposed to get up there in the food service.
I'll try and remember that. Where's my meal?
He asked me, but you're gone so long, I thought you switched seats.
Excuse me. Excuse me, I didn't get a meal.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I would know if a tray of food had been served to me.
Would you?
Yes.
Well, the only meal left is a kosher meal.
A kosher meal? I don't want a kosher meal. I don't even know what a kosher meal is.
I think it means when a rabbi has inspected it or something.
No, it all has to do with the way they kill the pig.
Come on, but they don't eat pigs.
They do if it's killed right, under a rabbi's supervision.
Oh, you know what? I ordered the kosher meal.
Then why didn't you take it?
I ordered it 6 weeks ago. I forgot.
You're eating my food!
Hey, I got earplugs to collect. Do you want it or not?
Just so much about this scene is beautiful.
The delivery of that line by Larry David.
I ordered it 6 weeks ago. I forgot.
I forgot. Oh, you know what? Okay, anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's wonderful. Another off-screen appearance made by Larry David. We've seen or heard him in the Chinese restaurant. We heard him as Newman, I guess, in the original, what was that, the Revenge episode? Was it the Revenge?
Yes.
I think so. Have we heard him again in Seinfeld off-screen? Oh, the car thief in the alternate side?
Oh, yeah. Oh, hello, Kramer.
Yeah, it's great. Love it anytime Larry David shows up on Seinfeld. We almost get too much of him as Steinbrenner. You know what I mean? It's almost like he packs more of a punch when it's a little line here or there.
I kind of separate the two. I don't see Steinbrenner as like a character unto itself because that voice is so unique. I find that I'm not hearing Steinbrenner right now with these little Larry David tie-ins.
Yeah. Also, the kosher discussion. Since I'm not Jewish, I wouldn't really know exactly, but I finally learned the most about kosher food from that Curb episode when he's with Mr. Heineman in...
Mr. Heineman!
Yeah.
Mr. Heineman!
When he's staying with him at their cabin, and like Cheryl accidentally like puts bacon on the plate, and... Yeah.
So the plate needs to be buried.
Yes. Right? What are you, fucking nuts? Anyways, if we haven't talked about Curb enough, everyone should watch it. So anyways, Tia, Jerry, they're eating sundaes. And I say this every week, but I know we quote this whenever we've been known to enjoy a dessert from time to time.
We've indulged in a shake or a cone of some sort.
At times a sundae. And
black and white cookie, if you will. Uh-huh.
We've said at some point, they got the fudge on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. That enables you to control your fudge distribution as you're eating your ice cream.
Yes.
And is this I always use this word wrong. Is this a meta moment?
Yes. You mean Tia's comment to Jerry?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, when she's like, I never knew a man who knew so much about nothing. That's almost like an inside joke to that whole, pilot, like, this is the show.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I love it in the pitch when George and Jerry are coming up with the NBC script, or the idea at least. I don't like it that much here.
No.
It seems a little too like the show's being labeled.
Okay, we're this hit show about nothing.
Yeah, it's a little like too self-aware. It's like it's summing up this, what I think is like such a complex and beautiful show. Like, it sums it up too simply.
Hey, that's the name of the show.
Do we get many more jokes like that though? Like, moving on about it being about nothing, self-aware jokes.
Jerry points out something about his stand-up, making there's more to life on this big blue marble than making pointless or meaningless observations, something like that, right?
Yeah, Elaine says something too, like, I can't come back this stinking
Excruciating,
apartment.
Minutia.
George also says, all you see on TV are two morons whining about their dates.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I guess, there's more of those references there. What am I saying? We do get a quick shot here of Elaine, I guess, staring at some kind of kosher meat.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but... And that line, more anything?
More everything. Contrasting First Class and Coach yet again.
Yeah, you can really get away with those shots in an episode like this where, it's single camera. You notice, like, when they're on set a lot, you don't get a lot of these close throwaway single shots. It's just what's on set. That's it. Mm-hmm. So we're at JFK now. Did you notice anything weird at the start of the scene? Like, George is staring at the girl next to him.
I did not notice that.
Okay, it's bizarre. I think it just Jason was doing something like reading the girl's magazine over her shoulder, and she's like kind of creeped out by it. But anyways, Kramer shows up with some Super Saver tickets.
Now, aren't those the same type of tickets that Morty bought in the raincoats? I got the Super Savers.
You're blowing my mind.
Is that right?
So, yeah. That sounds totally right. When they're flying to Paris?
Because they're non-refundable, which is why George gets them.
Good point. Yeah. I like where your head's at. Yeah, so they're non-refundable. You idiot! And they board the plane, and Kramer spots Grossbard while George goes to the bathroom. And
Kramer says, I'll tell you what, I'll split it with you.
Oh, yeah. That's how he's going to make it even.
That'll sweeten the pot. And before we go on, I forgot to talk about John Grossbard.
Oh, well, we're actually at the Grossbard scene right now. Kramer's confronting him.
Thank goodness. John Grossbard is played by Alan Wasserman. That name sounds really familiar. Alan Wasserman was in Big. He played the gym teacher. He was in Cocktail. He played the job interviewer. He was in an episode of LA Law, Mad About You, 2 episodes of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, an episode of Sex and the City, The West Wing, Gilmore Girls, The Comeback, The Sopranos, ER. He was in The Office. He played Michael's boss when Michael Scott was a telemarketer. Nick Figaro, telemarketer to the stars. That's Alan Wasserman. He was in Funny People. I forgot about this. He was in the 4th season of Arrested Development as Herb Zuckerkorn. I got to watch that again. He was in 2 episodes of Watching Ellie with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. He played a producer. And I think most notably, he was an HBO executive in Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm, which was the pilot of Curb. Mm-hmm. And he's in the pilot, he's in the shrimp incident, and he's in the massage. So 3 episodes of Curb. The interesting thing is that he plays his namesake in Curb. He plays Allison. He plays Alan Wasserman, president of HBO, in Curb.
Yeah, maybe Wasserman, that kind of has like a
HBO or an executive kind of name.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's what Larry thought too, but very memorable episodes on Curb, especially that shrimp incident one.
Yeah.
So Kramer confronts John Grossbard. I want to say Wasserman. John Grossbard, and I love the confusion here on Grossbard's face. He's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And Kramer just sticks his face like he's like a bird. He like,
so, yeah. Do you notice he pulls his hair back and he cinches his collar? He's like, hey, look. You see this? Remember my face?
He's like, what?
Now,
excuse me?
What does that imply that he's pulling his hair back and he's cinching the collar up really tight?
Well, he must have done the, like the comb back look from, didn't he have that in Problem Child, that look?
Yeah.
It
was parted to the side, but curly.
Yeah, maybe different. Yeah, he must have selected back, and he wore some kind of, top button shirt.
All right.
I like it, too. He maybe for 2 seconds pulls the hair back, and then he just goes for Grossbart's wallet.
Yeah, come on. Give it to me.
And, of course, that great reveal when George waits in line for the bathroom.
Just a second.
Door opens, and it's the criminal from before. And he yanks George inside and locks the door.
As Kramer is being pulled away by airport security.
Yes. And we cut over to the other flight. Everyone is sleeping comfortably with their blankets, while Elaine tries to sneak in and take an empty seat. Now, did you watch any of the deleted scenes on the DVD?
No, I usually don't watch those.
Okay, well, I checked out this one because it was interesting. There was a deleted scene somewhere between the previous one with the kosher dinner and Elaine sneaking, where
I know what you're talking about.
Jerry would go back to Coach and tell Elaine, hey, there's an open seat in first class. But, since Elaine didn't really need coaxing, to go up there, they, I guess, decided to cut it. Probably a time issue as well.
I actually recall in the blooper reel for season 4, there is a scene where Jerry keeps walking to Elaine's seat and he cannot get the scene started. He keeps cracking up and laughing. So I assume it's from that deleted scene.
And it is, yes. Because I know that blooper too. And when I saw the deleted scene, I'm like, oh, wait, this is that deleted one. Anyway, sorry. A little tangent there. Question for you, though. As Elaine sneaks in, she gets situated, props up her pillow. What happened to the passenger that was in that seat? Because she's there in earlier
what I want to
scenes.
know. Well, she was there?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was about to say that's not fair if there's an open seat and if Jerry and Elaine's original flight was canceled, Elaine should be entitled to that seat.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. If it were empty the whole time, why aren't there 2 seats available? Maybe you have to fill up Coach before you can offer first class.
Maybe somebody's in the Mile High Club. It's
all moot anyways, because as Elaine is sleeping for about 3 seconds, the flight attendant taps her on the shoulder.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. What? Oh, no. Nothing for me, thank you. What is your name?
Elaine Bennis.
You're going to have to go back to Coach.
No, but there was nobody sitting here.
Yes, but you're still not allowed. These seats are very expensive.
Oh, no, please don't send me back there. Please, I'll do anything. It's so nice up here. It's so comfortable up here. I don't want to go back there. Please don't send me back there. Oh, you got cookies.
You're going to have to go back to your seat.
Fine. I'll go back. Our goal should be a society without classes. Do you realize the people up here are getting cookies?
Is all the racket back there? You're trying to relax on the plane, and this is what you have to put up with. What is going on?
Sir, this woman tried to sneak into first class.
Oh, you see, that's terrible. The problem is that curtain is no security. There really should be a locking door.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Man, I love the way Julia says, cookies! And Jerry is so pompous in the scene, man. He's really got that high society.
What is all the racket back there?
You're trying to enjoy the flight. This is what you have to put up with.
When at the end when he's like, that curtain is no security. There really should be a locking door.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's settling back in, you can see him smiling, right?
Yeah. And he goes, oh
God. Cutting back to, I guess we're at JFK now, and we're all over the place. Kramer is getting escorted out again by that security guard through one of the tunnels until he breaks away and runs off.
And that security guard who he's breaking off and running away from is Dec McKenzie. You know that name. He is Jerry's stand-in. This is his 5th out of 13 appearances on Seinfeld.
Wow. God, it's got some pretty good mileage there.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Upcoming episode, he makes an appearance. I had no idea it was him. And
go ahead.
I'm looking forward to getting to it, is all I'm going to say.
Well, he's next going to be seen in The Outing.
That's it.
That's the one?
Yep.
Okay.
Anyways, so as Jerry's plane is landing, we get just this classic shot used in the montage and the clip show with the Superman theme.
Mm-hmm.
Kramer running alongside the plane.
To actually create that shot, they had Kramer running down the street, but they had a camera and on a truck, but they had a plane door in front of the camera to simulate what it would look like having Jerry in the plane.
Yeah, the POV shot of looking through that window.
Yeah.
I love also how Michael, he's so good at like mimicking. There's like a wing. There,
Exactly,
you know?
yeah.
He like looks up. God, he's good.
Bracing himself.
Mm-hmm. He's so funny, and well, eventually he like can't keep up with the plane, right? Well, he keeps up with it for a while, which is kind of weird, but he eventually falls behind. Jerry, that great shot of him just shaking his head like, I didn't just see that.
No.
And the last scene of the episode, we're at the baggage claim. That little bit of B-roll right at the beginning of an actual, like, what do you call it? Like
Airport.
That's Burbank. The crew, I guess, went to Burbank and
that's right,
and filmed some B-roll just of the of that baggage claim. But Jerry has his bags; he's ready to go. Elaine doesn't.
Cue Honolulu.
Elaine's bags are the only two on the carousel. They got a little like lei on them, and
same airport set. They just redressed it with leis and flowery attire.
Yes, really effective though. It's funny how just a color change and some stock music can just make all the difference. This was the worst flight of Elaine's life. Jerry agrees, of course, just as paparazzi are taking pictures of Tia, and she tells Jerry that she'll call him.
That's a business thing, Elaine.
Right. Networking. Suddenly Kramer comes sliding down the chute. Super casual as he lands at the bottom.
It's so fitting that Michael would come out of that luggage chute. And you notice when he stands up, his body movements are very rigid and robotic-like. He's very aware of his surroundings.
Yeah.
And he becomes aware of the cop in the background. And he's trying to get out of there as soon as possible. But only Kramer would manage to find his way through the the luggage tunnels.
Yes. You think you'd get crushed or ripped up at some point, but
not Kramer.
That's apparently one of Larry Charles's favorite jokes on Seinfeld, that image of Kramer sliding down.
And apparently there was going to be an alternate ending in the scene where George was actually going to be present at the baggage claim with the other with the four of them, I guess.
Yeah, I watched this too. It's it's not as effective. I mean, Kramer still slides down, but it starts off with Elaine saying, "Oh, you wouldn't," or I'm sorry, George saying, "You wouldn't believe what happened to me." He's all beat up. Mm-hmm. Then Elaine saying, "You wouldn't believe what happened to me." Tia walks by, talks to Jerry, and he's like, "Hey, you wouldn't believe what happened to me." Mm. So you get that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
this is so much better what they end up doing.
Yeah, then the Kramer falls down, and they walk off together as Elaine drags her bags. But it kind of has a nice parking garage slash... Did the subway end the same way? Yeah, just the group reunited.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It has that nice kind of throwback... But I prefer this so much more with George in the airplane just screaming. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What does he say?
Kramer!
I asked you because Larry Charles mentioned in the commentary how they had different versions of this. It was like George screaming, George saying Kramer, and then there were versions where you could hear it when you couldn't hear it.
Ah.
And they played around with different kinds of endings, but I think it's best just to hear the jet noise.
Home run.
But I have to admit that I like flying. I like those little bathrooms that they have on the plane. It's kind of like a small apartment of your own on the plane. You go in, you close the door, the light comes right on. It's like a little surprise party every time you go in there. But the worst way of flying, I think, is standby. You ever fly standby? That never works. That's why they call it standby. You end up standing there going, bye. I didn't, yeah. So I was on this plane with the flight attendant. It was her first day on the job, so they didn't have a uniform for her yet. And that really makes a big difference. I mean, this is just some regular person coming over to you going, would you mind bringing your seat back all the way up? And, who the hell are you? She goes, well, I'm the flight attendant. Oh, yeah, well, then I'm the pilot, all right? So why don't you sit down? I'm about to bring her in.
So here's more from I'm Telling You for the Last Time, but only the first half of this stand-up bit when he starts to go over the flight attendant's first day, in casual clothes. That was not in his stand-up from the album. So I don't know if that particular portion was written for the episode or just wasn't included on his in his album. But, yeah. Seinfeld just kills it whenever there is anything related to an airplane.
Yes. I love that standby joke. You wind up standing there. Bye. But it's still a really good stand-up, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would. Oh, yeah, we got ratings to do now, don't we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, what do you think?
So, Vinny, thoughts as we're winding down mentally and physically?
Seeing this episode on deck for this week, I was so excited, and it did not disappoint. It moves so fast, and it really does have that Chinese restaurant feel. This one didn't disappoint. I was on board the whole way.
Yeah, this is going way back to our early episodes when the audio quality is just awful. But I mentioned that I used to I downloaded the episodes. This is going back like 10, 12 years ago, before the DVDs ever came out. And they were all bootleg, ripped versions off of TV. And you couldn't get that many at the time. Mm-hmm. But the airport was one of them. So this was one of the earliest Seinfeld episodes that I memorized, from like beginning to end, just cute. The audio. And I'm glad I did, because not only is it memorable for me for that reason, listening to the audio, walking around the college campus, but it's a great episode too. It's, I would say actually up to this point, I would put this on par with the Chinese restaurant. Dare I say, even a little better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because you get Kramer. You get a variety of location.
You're right. This is as if you saw the Chinese restaurant with Kramer there. That's an excellent point.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're not like trapped in one location other than the airport / airplanes, but it's there's a lot of frustration in this episode. There's a lot of unfair treatment between like Jerry and Elaine, similar to like the gang and those that were getting sat in the Chinese restaurant. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love this episode. Mm-hmm. I never once thought about Jerry's apartment or Monk's.
No.
Never missed them, cared about seeing them. That's a pretty big achievement, because there's some episodes when, they're not in those locations and you miss them. You're like, I need something familiar here.
I'll say the finale felt like that of the show, because they're in the courtroom the whole time. I think when we get to the finale, we'll discuss it more in depth. But my gripe with that is you don't even get to see the Fab Four. Mm-hmm. All you're seeing is the side characters coming on, which is cool. But we'll get there. But yeah, they're out of the apartment. But this is four friends, when they happen to go to the airport.
Who could forget all the great guest stars this week? I mean, the Sky Cap, the flight attendants are fantastic. The prisoner,
and John Grossbard.
Yeah, just a lot of good stars this week.
I like the fact that Elaine got shit on a lot this episode. Yes. And
yeah, it's as much as we love the Elaine character, it is in a sick way kind of fun to see her getting screwed over. It's fun to see them all getting screwed over. But
Larry David's one voiceover is so memorable and so good.
And also, I think, once again, the Larry Charles formula, or what he tries to bring to the table, one camera, no audience, a lot of scenes, somewhat dark.
This one's not as dark, though.
It's not, but
the incorporation of the serial killer, in the airport, that's the darkest I think it gets. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he has this altercation with George. But
we don't know he's a serial killer, do we?
He's in shackles. He's in shackles. So maybe not serial killer, but he's convicted of something.
He's a bad dude. Any complaints though? Anything you didn't like?
I gotta say, no. I got nothing.
Yeah,
I really enjoy this from start to finish. Mm-hmm. I got nothing bad to say, and you'll see that in my rating.
All right. Well, what are you gonna give this one? This
is a gold from start to finish, and I think I'm gonna. I do this every. I'm gonna give it 10 sundaes with fudge at the bottom that allow you to control your fudge distribution as you're eating your ice cream. Out of 10.
Wow,
I like this one a lot.
Setting the bar pretty high. I'm gonna go a little bit below that.
Of course you will.
Well, you gave it 100% perfect. I
know.
It's like, my God.
I had nothing wrong with it.
Well, yeah, but still, they can't all be 10s, because then how do you set them apart?
It makes me happy.
I'm not gonna be that far off. I'll give this one I'll give it a gold, because I do love this episode, but it wouldn't be necessarily in my top 10 of all time. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna have to drop it down to 9.5 kosher meals out of 10. But yeah, absolutely one of the best in season 4. One of the best, top 20, I would say, probably, of all time.
All right, I guess that's going to do it for us here on Seincast this week. We have a email, seincast@gmail.com. Reach out to us. We have a Facebook, we got a Twitter, a Tumblr, a Pinterest, and an Instagram.
That's right, and we're also on iTunes. Thanks a lot for everyone's rating and review so far. Please keep them coming. We love hearing from you guys. Vinny, what episode do we have next week?
We'll be discussing the 13th episode of Season 4, The Pick. And Matt, did you look at this episode carefully?
Carefully?
Because I'm not sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I see a nipple.
But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off. Seincast is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC. It is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. The official Seinfeld site can be found at sonypictures.com/TV/Seinfeld. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Listen to the bell, Grossbard. It tolls for thee.